Welcome, miladies of inestimable value. The loudest applause often comes from the emptiest rooms. Think about it. Most people are so addicted to attention that they'll do backflips on social media just to feel seen. But what if someone doesn't need any of that? Enter the Sigma female. A woman so self-assured that the noise of validation sounds like a mosquito she can swat away without breaking stride. Here's a fact to chew on. According to psychology, people who rely less on external validation are not only happier, but also more resilient. And that's exactly why Sigma females don't need your attention. It's not arrogance, it's liberation. They're not playing hard to get, they're just not playing at all. So, if you've ever wondered why these women don't care about your likes, applause, or whether you're impressed, buckle up. This is about to get brutally honest, unapologetically extraordinary, and yes, just a little bit savage. Number 1. They see attention as a form of control. Sigma females see attention for what it often is, a tool of manipulation. In a world where people crave validation like it's oxygen, attention can easily become a weapon. Compliments can be bait, flattery can be a leash, and being noticed can come with hidden strings. Sigma females refuse to play that game. They know that once someone controls your need for recognition, they control you. This isn't paranoia, it's wisdom born from seeing how easily people give up their independence just to feel seen. For them, attention is like a shiny trap. It might look appealing, but step too close, and suddenly you're dancing to someone else's tune. Sigma females reject that outright. They know their worth isn't tied to who's watching or applauding. They'd rather move through life unnoticed than let someone dangle attention like a carrot in front of them. It's not that they despise attention. They just don't rely on it. They've seen people bend over backward, betray their values, and lose themselves entirely just to keep the spotlight. Sigma females find that desperate, even sad. Why should anyone hand over their freedom just for a fleeting moment of validation? It's not worth the cost. By stepping away from the attention game, they hold on to their power. They decide their actions, not the audience. They know attention is fleeting, but control over their own lives? That's permanent. And here's the kicker. The less they seek attention, the more intriguing they become. It's like reverse psychology at its finest, but they're not doing it on purpose. Their detachment is authentic, and that's exactly why they can't be manipulated. To a Sigma female, attention isn't the goal, it's just noise, and they have far more important things to focus on. Number 2. They don't play the look at me game. To a Sigma female, attention-seeking is the equivalent of shouting into a void, loud, desperate, and ultimately pointless. They see it as a playground activity for people still trying to figure out who they are. For them, life isn't about being the loudest voice in the room. It's about making moves so impactful that others can't help but notice, even if they're not asking for it. Sigma females believe that respect is earned, not begged for. You won't find them posting cryptic, drama-filled statuses or fishing for compliments just to feel relevant. That's not their style. They don't need a pat on the back to validate their choices. Instead, they let their actions do the talking. Whether it's excelling in their careers, pursuing a passion, or simply staying true to their values, they let results speak louder than their words ever could. This isn't about arrogance, it's about focus. Attention-seeking wastes energy they'd rather channel into building something meaningful or growing as individuals. They don't need the world to clap for every step they take. The satisfaction of knowing they're staying authentic to themselves is applause enough. And here's the irony. Their refusal to demand attention makes them stand out even more. While others clamor for the spotlight, a Sigma female's quiet confidence commands the kind of respect that no amount of theatrics could ever achieve. People don't admire them because they beg for it. They admire them because they've earned it. And that's exactly the point. Number 3. They're too busy building their legacy. For Sigma females, attention-seeking is like chasing fireworks. Bright, fleeting, and ultimately pointless. They'd rather invest their energy in something that lasts, something with depth and purpose. While others are busy scrambling for applause or obsessing over how many people are watching, Sigma females are quietly laying the groundwork for a legacy that will outlive any round of applause. They're not here for the quick dopamine hit that comes from someone noticing them. Instead, they're playing the long game, focused on goals that actually matter. Whether it's building a business, mastering a skill, or creating a life that reflects their deepest values, Sigma females thrive in the process, not the performance. For them, the satisfaction of accomplishment is worth infinitely more than the shallow thrill of being in the spotlight. This mindset makes them relentless. They don't pause to check who's clapping because their eyes are locked on the bigger picture. They know that attention is fickle. One moment, people adore you. The next, they've moved on to the next shiny thing. A legacy, on the other hand, is untouchable. It's not something that depends on others' opinions or fleeting trends. Sigma females understand that true fulfillment comes from within, from knowing they've created something meaningful on their own terms. And while others are distracted by the need to be noticed, they're busy making moves that most people won't even see coming. The applause can wait, or better yet, it can stay non-existent. They're too busy building something far more important. Number 4. They don't confuse attention with love. For Sigma females, attention and love exist in entirely different universes. They've seen too many people mistake one for the other, thinking that being noticed or complimented is the same as being cared for. But to a Sigma female, attention is cheap. Anyone can give it, and often it comes without any real substance. Love, on the other hand, is rare and profound. It's built on trust, respect, and understanding, not on how many people are looking at you. This distinction is what keeps Sigma females from falling into the trap of shallow relationships. They don't chase admiration because they know it's empty, just a performance without depth. Compliments may flatter them, but they don't sway them. What matters to them is the intention behind the attention. Is it genuine? Or is it just someone trying to feel important by being in their orbit? Sigma females crave connection that goes beyond the surface. They'd rather spend time with one person who truly gets them than a crowd that barely knows their name. They value quality over quantity in every relationship, whether it's friendships, family, or romantic partners. Their refusal to confuse attention with love also makes them less vulnerable to manipulation. They're not blinded by flattery or gestures designed to win them over. They see through the noise and focus on actions that prove someone's loyalty and care. This clarity protects them from heartbreak and keeps their circle filled with people who genuinely matter. At their core, Sigma females understand that love is quiet, steady, and profound, while attention is fleeting and often hollow. And because of this, they never settle for the temporary high of being admired when what they truly want is something real. Number 5. They don't need permission to shine. Sigma females don't wait for anyone to hand them a golden ticket to be extraordinary. They simply decide to shine on their own terms. While many people feel the need to ask, "Am I good enough?" or seek constant validation from others, Sigma females skip the question altogether. Their brilliance isn't up for debate, and they don't need a committee's approval to embrace it. This isn't arrogance, it's freedom. They know that waiting for validation is like waiting for the bus on a route that doesn't exist. Why waste time seeking permission from people who might not even recognize their worth? Instead, they grant themselves the right to succeed, to fail, to grow, and to conquer, all without needing anyone else's applause. This self-empowerment is what sets them apart. Sigma females don't shrink to make others comfortable, and they don't dim their light out of fear of being too much. They understand that their uniqueness isn't something to hide, it's something to celebrate. And if others can't handle their radiance, well, that's not their problem. By giving themselves permission to shine, they bypass the endless cycle of self-doubt that holds so many people back. They don't waste time second-guessing their abilities or seeking validation from people who don't matter. Instead, they focus on their goals, push boundaries, and create a life that reflects their full potential. In the end, it's this unapologetic ownership of their brilliance that makes them unstoppable. They're not looking for permission to be extraordinary. They already are. And that kind of confidence is not only rare, but also completely magnetic. Number 6. Attention feels like a distraction. To a Sigma female, attention isn't flattering, it's irritating. It's the kind of noise that pulls focus, disrupts flow, and gets in the way of what actually matters. While some people thrive on the spotlight, basking in every moment of being noticed, Sigma females see it as an unwelcome distraction from their purpose-driven life. They have no interest in detours caused by shallow admiration or surface-level validation. Their minds are wired for depth, not noise. When they're working toward their goals or exploring their passions, attention feels like an unnecessary interruption, as if someone is tapping them on the shoulder while they're in the middle of solving a complex equation. It's not that they dislike being acknowledged, it's that they see it for what it often is: a time waster, an energy drain, and quite frankly, something they don't need. For Sigma females, the idea of attention for attention's sake is baffling. Why should they stop to entertain meaningless applause when they're building something meaningful? Their focus is their greatest asset, and they're fiercely protective of it. Attention, with all its noise and superficiality, is the kind of thing they swat away so they can keep moving forward. What's more, they know attention often comes with strings attached: expectations, obligations, and people trying to insert themselves into their narrative. Sigma females have no patience for that. They'd rather keep their circles small, their purpose sharp, and their lives unbothered by the distractions of those clamoring for their time or approval. To them, attention is just static in the background, and they'd rather tune it out completely. Number 7. They're masters of low-key power moves. Sigma females have mastered the art of quiet domination. While the world obsesses over loud announcements, flashy displays, and over-the-top self-promotion, they're busy making moves that no one sees coming. They don't waste time bragging about their plans or broadcasting their every step because they know real power doesn't need a parade. Their strength lies in their silence. When others are busy talking about what they're going to do, Sigma females are already doing it. They understand that the element of surprise is their greatest weapon. The fewer people know what they're up to, the less interference they face, and the more effective their actions become. This isn't about being sneaky or secretive. It's about conserving energy. Sigma females know that talking too much about their goals can drain their focus and invite unnecessary opinions. Why argue with people about what they're capable of when they can just show them through results? Their quiet confidence intimidates those who rely on noise to assert their importance. What sets them apart is their ability to execute without fanfare. They're the kind of people who walk into a room, assess the situation, and make a move that shifts the entire dynamic, all without saying a word. Their accomplishments speak louder than any declaration ever could. By keeping their power moves low-key, they avoid the distractions that come with attention and expectations. They operate on their own terms, in their own time, with their own rules. And when the dust settles, people aren't just impressed. They're stunned, left wondering how someone so understated managed to change the entire game. That's the Sigma female's secret. Power doesn't have to shout. Sometimes it's the quietest one in the room who's holding all the cards. Number 8. They can spot fake flattery from a mile away. Sigma females have a built-in radar for detecting fake flattery, and trust me, it's sharper than a hawk spotting prey from the sky. They can sense when someone's compliments are more about manipulation than sincerity, and nothing makes their eyes roll harder. Empty praise, exaggerated admiration, or compliments that come with an unspoken agenda don't just annoy them, they insult their intelligence. They've seen it all before. The overly sugary remarks that try too hard, the backhanded compliments wrapped in faux concern, and the opportunistic "you're amazing" that's immediately followed by a favor request. Sigma females don't fall for any of it. They'd rather be overlooked entirely than have to sift through the tangled mess of someone's ulterior motives. It's not that they hate compliments, far from it. When someone genuinely appreciates them, they value it deeply. But the key word here is genuine. Sigma females thrive on authenticity, and anything that feels forced, strategic, or performative is an automatic turnoff. They don't need someone to inflate their ego, especially if that inflation comes with strings attached. By refusing to entertain insincere gestures, they protect their time, energy, and peace of mind. They know that fake flattery often comes from people who are either trying to manipulate them or seeking validation for themselves. Sigma females aren't about to play into that. They'd rather walk away from such dynamics altogether. This clarity makes them a tough nut to crack for anyone looking to exploit them through charm or false admiration. If your words don't match your intentions, they'll see right through you, and they won't hesitate to call it out or more likely cut you off entirely. For a Sigma female, realness is non-negotiable, and anything less is simply a waste of her time. Number 9. Crowds drain their energy. Sigma females are not the type to thrive in a crowd. If anything, being surrounded by too many people feels like running a marathon without water. While some seem to feed off the buzz of social gatherings, constantly craving attention and validation, Sigma females find crowds exhausting, almost suffocating. It's not that they don't enjoy socializing, but the constant noise and overstimulation of being around too many people quickly drain their energy. For them, true rejuvenation comes in solitude. It's in those quiet, alone moments where they can recharge, reflect, and center themselves. Whether it's taking a walk in nature, diving into a book, or simply sitting in silence, being alone allows them to recalibrate their energy levels and regain focus. The chaotic energy of large groups just doesn't have the same effect. Being around a crowd can feel like being pulled in a million directions, each person seeking their attention, their approval, or their presence. Sigma females don't operate well in that type of environment. They find their best ideas and creativity flow when they're not fighting for attention or trying to maintain a facade. They know that too much exposure to crowds or attention can lead to burnout, and they're not interested in that. Why put themselves through the emotional and physical fatigue of keeping up appearances when they can thrive in a space that allows them to be authentic and grounded? For Sigma females, solitude isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity. It's where they find peace, clarity, and the energy to keep doing what they do best without the distractions of being part of a crowd. In a world obsessed with constant noise and attention, their ability to find strength in silence is exactly what keeps them grounded and unstoppable. Number 10. They find freedom in being overlooked. For Sigma females, being overlooked isn't a curse, it's an opportunity. While others might jump through hoops to be seen and admired, Sigma females find a certain power in flying under the radar. When people underestimate them, they're not insulted, they're energized. Being overlooked gives them the freedom to operate unnoticed, to move through spaces without attracting attention or raising expectations. And that's where the magic happens. When no one is paying attention, Sigma females can plan, execute, and pivot with ease. They're not burdened by assumptions or the pressure to live up to anyone else's expectations. It's like being in stealth mode, quiet, deliberate, and with the element of surprise firmly on their side. The beauty of this freedom is that it allows Sigma females to move in ways others can't predict. They don't need to impress anyone with flashy moves or bold declarations. Instead, they work quietly, behind the scenes, creating and building without interference. And when the time comes for their success to be revealed, it's all the more impactful because no one saw it coming. Being underestimated also keeps Sigma females grounded. No one is trying to ride their coattails or latch onto their successes. They get to focus on their own path without the noise of external validation or people vying for their attention. In a world where everyone is trying to make their mark and be noticed, Sigma females find true power in their ability to be unseen. They know that when you're overlooked, you have the greatest chance to carve your own path and make your move when the moment is right. That's the kind of freedom they cherish. Being underestimated is the key to moving with complete autonomy, free from the weight of others' expectations. In a world that constantly demands attention, validation, and noise, Sigma females stand as a testament to quiet strength, independence, and unparalleled self-awareness. They don't need the spotlight to feel validated. In fact, they prefer to operate in the shadows, where they can shape their world without interference. Whether it's the freedom of being overlooked or the power of moving silently, they know that true strength doesn't need to be shouted from the rooftops. It's in the subtlety of their actions, the conviction of their choices, and the clarity of their purpose. Sigma females have cracked the code on what it means to live authentically without the need for constant external approval. They've learned that attention isn't a currency they need to spend, that energy is best spent building something meaningful, and that real connections come from depth, not spectacle. So while the world scrambles for applause, they keep their focus laser sharp, knowing that their true worth doesn't lie in the number of eyes on them, but in the impact they make, quietly, powerfully, and unapologetically. At the end of the day, Sigma females don't need your attention. They have everything they need within themselves to carve out a path that's uniquely their own. And trust me, when they make their move, it won't just be noticed. It will be unforgettable. If you found this insight into the world of Sigma females as fascinating as we do, don't let it stop here. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up to let us know you're with us, and drop a comment to share your thoughts. We love hearing from you. And hey, if you know someone who needs to hear this, don't forget to share it. After all, the world could use a little more Sigma energy. Stay tuned, because there's always more coming your way. You won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, my ladies. See you in the next video. Bye for now, and God bless.